Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 of my Football Manager 2020 experiment, where we gave £1 billion to a non-league club, that is Kettering, and in the first part of this, they were able to get to the Premier League in consecutive promotions this season. You know, we stopped it in December in the last part, and yeah, they're not going to get a top 4 finish, definitely not winning the title. Not even there could be a crazy finish. Yeah, you can really see how the season's going, and you know how the situation was. Their money dropped, reputation dropped, so we did pump that back up. So they're first class, and yeah, got the billion back into the club. So we'll be interested to see if they do anything in January of this season. But from now, we're just going to simulate one season each time because they're already in the Premier League. See if they're going to go on for any Premier League or Champions League success. We'll have to see. But if you want to see more experiments, let me know up in the comments which ones you'd like to see. It was good to see your thoughts, and you guys seem pretty interested in the first part of this. So yeah, let's see how they continue to go. So now we simulate to the end of May, take a look, Kettering Town up to 10th. So they may have seen some progression through the second half of the season. Not too heavy, but a little bit. They pushed up, and top 6, how about that? Wolves making that, but we'll focus on Kettering, Kettering Town. Let's see. A change of manager. So you've got to take a look at all these little things. So, it was caretaker, okay. Yeah, he was sacked. God, that's harsh, isn't it? That's harsh. Alright. Very interesting for the board, what they would have been expecting from the first season. So, ironically, they bring in Paul Harsley. Yeah, or Harsley. I just want to... he was the caretaker. He was the caretaker. Then they brought in Bruno, the Portuguese, coming from Benfica. He was a Benfica manager. Yeah, he is the Benfica manager. So he's a very, very good quality, though. I expect him. Yeah, I'm actually really looking for. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do with Kettering. But a bit hard on the manager. As I said, a bit harsh. Yeah, a bit harsh. So let's see if any signings were made. If we go back to Kettering. Go back to the transfer history. We'll go to the transfer history. Let's see if we sort by the dates. We can still see by the fee, but yeah, if we see in January, the moves in January, there was quite a bit. So they used the money. So Junior Firpo from Barcelona, as we know, Spanish fullback. He's 28 now. He seems very, very solid. He's about 50 million worth, and the signing for him 60 million. Thiago Maya, again, he's another younger. He starts, obviously, a little bit younger than that, 28. He's all right. They're bringing in solid players. I think they'll be building a team that's good enough maybe to reach a top 6, not winning Premier League just yet, not that level. But these are big fees. Look at Ben White. He comes from, Fulham in this save. Fulham signed him from Brighton. So, yeah, he's a younger type of talent. And how is he looking now? Some good mentals, but these types, I wouldn't say they're outstanding. A lot of their signings really, really balance those type of attributes. So, yeah, Tom Foden. So these are the key signings. These are the key signings off the dates anyway. If we go off the fee, there was... What's his name? Bayinde? Altay Bayinde? Sorry, or Bayinde. Sorry if I don't get the name 100% correct. But a Turkish goalkeeper. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. If we go to the history, you can see what he did for the season. 18 goals conceded from 15 appearances. That's not too bad. Coming from Germany, it was obviously a Fenerbahce. Yeah, Fenerbahce, and then moved to Dortmund, Leverkusen, then coming over to Kettering Town. And Gabriel Barbosa, any others out of the bigger signings? So there might be a few other names, but no one, that is completely outstanding at this point. So, yeah, they haven't got a bad... look at that, 380 million. I mean, as you expect with that money. See the selection info, just take a look at the goal scorers. Gabriel Barbosa got the most goals in 9, but that Omar Walkinshaw, that region... the star, the wonder kid, doesn't say wonder kid anymore as he's 21. Yeah, excited to see how he'll develop, that is for sure. And then through the assists, Capaldo, 6 assists. No one really stood out with that in terms of assists. Frederick Gilbert, he only came off the bench and got an assist. And then even Mayer, he four goals. Thiago, 4 goals out of 14. Defensive player, so he probably had a pretty decent season judging off that. But the guys that came in January, Junior Firpo, he showed very good signs as well. And then this Eduard, who again didn't really play too much. Again, if we go to the history, he was one. Yeah, he would have been another one that made his move. That almost 50 million. So there's quite a few of the signings this season. I really like his attributes. So will be interesting to see what they do in another pre-season. You see their finances, how they're looking. We're going to leave it. We're not going to keep pumping another billion into the club because their estimated value is 2 billion now. So we're not going to keep pumping money into their club. We have got them the... if we just show you guys, again, if we go to edit the club details, we always want to... It keeps on changing to underwriter. I want to make sure they have the front-end sugar daddy. It would be good if you could set it in place and it not being changed. Obviously, the bank balance, but yeah, that happens. That happens in Football Manager as you progress. Let's see, one of their hot prospects is Bobby Coyd. Bobby Coyd looks like a pretty good talent. So, yeah, we're going to simulate. Let's see another season. I'm expecting a big preseason. Like, this window... I'm up until the next season, I'm hoping they make some really, really big signings, some game changers. Let's find out. We'll go simulate the next season and see how they fare. So, guys, we simulated this season, the end of 2026 season. Kettering, we know last season, that's where they finished. Let's go on to the next one. And they finished 10th again, lads. How about that? Isn't that crazy? And maybe a bit of disappointment that they didn't improve. So let's see what signings they made then. And before we do that, look, another manager change. Antonio Conte, how's he looking now? Can he be the manager to take them forward? Oh, look at that. How long did he last? What 1 year, 17 days, Bruno? And then there was just interim. That was Pablo Villa. And then Antonio Conte, 2 days. End of the season. They got the replacement. Okay. Now I'm almost looking towards, okay, what are they going to do next season with Antonio Conte at the helm? Expecting something. But let's take a look at their signings. Take a look at the signings they made through this season. We can just sort by the highest fee. And I was going to say we might start to get some regens through at this point. Like this lad, he's elite centre-back. Like he looks really, really great. Like he's a top 4. I'd say he's a top 4 defender. So, yeah, take a look at him. Then a 40 million, another regen. Look at his style. Look at his look. Another defender, a wonder kid. So I reckon that, they're making the signings that they need. Maxi Milano, more a central midfielder. I'm liking their moves so far. Maybe a bit of youth in them as well. They're players that can only get better. And in terms of really, really big signings, that was really it. Otara, he is 19, so another younger player. He's got some neat attributes, but we'll just go through the rest and check. Look, 21. At this point, almost all regens, which is understandable. Wonder kid. You can tell what they've gone for, but did they need to sign more experience, really? Because they're getting a lot of younger players in with their moves. That was a more cheaper fee. That could prove to be a pretty good deal, I reckon, this one. Hamdi, yeah, considering his value. And then Adrian Lee, look at that, 54k only, and then 3.5 million value at the moment. So hard-working midfielder, you can see by teamwork right there. Then they had Van der Beek on loan for the season from Manchester United. So those were the moves. Those were the moves for the season. Then if we go back again, we can see who was the most... look at this, Walkinshaw. How's he developing? At the moment, we're just tracking his development each season, really. He's one to see how he's coming along, being at the team for a while. So, leading goal scorer with only 7. They need like a really dominant goal scorer. Daniel James is still coming along. He's 28 now, so he's only getting older. A couple more years to reach 30, and then we'll search by the average rating or sort by average rating. Connor Cody only played 1 game for the season. Pretty disappointing. Did he have any injury in that period, or is he yeah, I don't really know what they're doing with him at the current point in time. If we see some of his injuries, he didn't have like a long-term injury, so he was just not being selected. So I would say that Eduard, yeah, he is the best player, the best player of the season for them, judging off that, and he still didn't even play like a crazy amount of games. Judging off these average ratings, not a bad finish to say 10th for the season, but they are playing this, I would say, a defensive setup as well. So yeah, not that great. And how did they go in cups? I didn't show you that of last season, but then yeah, they didn't really do anything when I checked. Take a look. Did they do anything? Nothing. They just eventually get knocked out. They eventually get knocked out. So yeah, they're basically not even doing much. So are we going to give them another chance? Guys, what is their... They're still got the reputation. Media prediction is 7th. I'm hoping Antonio Conte, maybe he can do something. See, one of those signings is a key player now, even though he's only 22. Another year, get more experience. Surely, Antonio Conte, with his experience, like, look at that, Juventus, Italy, Chelsea, Inter, Bayern, we know his experience. So, is he the one? Is he the one? Imagine if Kettering Town even sack him. Oh, we'll give them one more season, see what they can do. See, the estimated value is still at $1 billion, even though balance 350. Season budget, that's still really high, 140 million. It's, yeah, you got to be doing something with that. So Antonio Conte, let's see what he does for them next season. We'll simulate one more. Can they finally break that top 4? Sim one more season, we'll find out. So guys, they finally did it in a way to get into Europe. They're qualified for the Europa League. So let's take a look at Kettering Town and what I think they would have done. Yeah, they win the FA Cup. That would have been their qualification, and beating Chelsea. So Premier League season wasn't as different. Well, Antonio Conte, he kept his job, so that was different of recent years. Hopefully they find a bit of consistency. They give him a chance now, and yeah, in the Europa League, in Europe, that's going to be really, really interesting. So let's see the signings they made. And they did spend big on the wages. If you take a look at that, if you take a look at the difference. So yeah, I reckon they did go hard. Let's see though. They went big. 180 million spent on maybe 2 stars there. Oh, you can see Tolisso, but take a look at the biggest signing in Fernandes, which was actually from Tottenham. Okay, goalkeeper. Honestly, I was thinking 88 million. I wasn't expecting a goalkeeper. And if we go back to him, he's solid, but I remember they signed another keeper as well. So okay, fair enough. I can't doubt Conte. He's obviously got his plan in place, and he's hopeful he can have a job for a period of time, not just one season. So, yeah, how about this lad? How's he looking? I've seen his name around before, and I'm saying it like that because I have no idea how to pronounce that, so we just call him Olivier. He's not a bad French player. Experienced, 31-year-old, world-class midfielder, but he is aging a little bit. So, long-term, I'm not too sure, but he's good for the current point in time. He'd be good for next season for Europa League. Kettering Town in the Europa League in Europe for the first time. How about that? That would be really cool to see. And then Coraton Tolisso, 32 years of age. I knew he was going to be older, being a real player and not a regen. So a bit more experience opposed to the previous season where they brought in a lot of younger guys. They got a bit of experience there. So that's good. Then a signing from Manchester City, Stephen Lawrence. Of course, we're in 2027 now, guys. So majority of signings definitely that's under 30. They're going to be regens. As you can see, he's looking pretty nice as a English talent. He's 12 caps for England. He's looking pretty good. His technicals. Liking these moves, and a signing from River Plate. He would be young, wouldn't he? If you can't tell from his photo. So, but he's looking alright. Maybe he could be a hidden player. He starts at Lannis, and then he moved to River Plate. I'm not sure how he starts in the game, but he's a name you can maybe take a look at and see how he's rated at the start. But when he gets to this point in his career, yeah, I wouldn't say he's a world beater, but he's a solid player. If you can sign him for cheap, maybe if you're a lower Premier League team, and depending how long it will take him to get to his best, yeah. But to give you an idea how he develops, then Antonio Schettino, Italian, signed from Juventus, 475k. What was his value now? Yeah, that's not too bad. Almost 14 mil. So, how about, yeah, Giovanni, obviously Tottenham player, on loan. He's on loan at Tottenham. And then he made a bit of, obviously going to Real Betis. Okay, yeah, so he didn't really make too many moves. It was the loan, and he stayed at Real Betis. So, and then signing for a free. Giovanni. That's a really interesting career path. Eventually coming back to the Premier League, and then Serge Gnabry. How's he looking? Yeah, Serge Gnabry he's solid, but they're 31 years of age and 31 million in his value. Good move, solid, but he doesn't look out of this world. He's an experienced winger, lost his pace now at 31. I do wonder how much of an impact he'll have, and you can see that. I mean, on a free transfer, not too bad. So those were the moves that were made. Let's take a look at their season, though, in terms of their players. Did they finally get someone who can smash in goals? Fans will be like, hallelujah, someone who can smash in some goals regularly. Stephen Lawrence, hope for England at this point in time as well. Could be. Look at that, finishing, first touch, heading's really good as well. Really like his attributes, really very well-rounded, very strong as well. And then it was Nicolas Capaldo. He's on loan at River Plate now, so don't really take into consideration his season. And then Omar Walkinshaw, talked about him for a few seasons now at Kettering. He's 59 million value. I'm not sure of his ability. Technically he's nothing special. He's got a bit of pace, and then you see his technicals. They're okay, and he's just passable as a Premier League player, I'd say. So yeah, those are the better players with the goals, and then assists. Tolisso, he comes in, got the most assists, pretty good. Average rating, we can't take a look at this guy. He did not play enough at all. Yeah, he's like a keeper. We can't judge that. And this guy even played 5, the other goalkeeper. So it was in Stephen Lawrence. So that is a very good season by him and Kettering. This is going at a good pace now. So we're going to leave it here though, because this video will just keep getting longer. I still wonder where they will have that next success. I will wonder if they'll be good enough. I don't want to keep having to... the estimated value is still $1 billion. So they've got $1 billion in the club. The balance is just... Obviously, that's part of the facilities and the youth facilities, like training facilities, youth facilities. It's part of their... the club's value with all the facilities they have. Reputation, see now it's gone to 5-star to 4.5. So, yeah, let me know. Would you want to see a part 3 on this? But should we put another $1 billion into the balance, or what do you think? Because at this point in time, I don't think they're building a team that's good enough to win Champions League and win the Premier League. Yeah, let me know. Do we just leave it and see how it plays out? Let me know anyway, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. As I said, let me know some other experiments I should be doing in Football Manager. See, I shouldn't get too, or a bad feeling. This is just an experiment. I shouldn't feel like Kettering are failing. They're having slow progression, which is good to see. But yeah, it's not like a bad thing. It is, at the end of the day, an experiment. We're wanting to see what this does. We can't just have the expectations of them winning the Premier League and Champions League. We're just seeing how it goes. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Leave a thumbs up. I appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time.